Alright, so unfortunately here, ladies and gentlemen, we have martial arts first. And the reason why I say unfortunately is because I am absolutely trash at martial arts. We're going to quickly go over this because not a whole lot has changed. I believe in maybe Season 2 or in the future, Senpai is going to make a massive overhaul on this tree, so people are going to be happy to hear about that most likely. So far, we have Tiger Strike, basically more charges that you get up. Oh my skills! So many skills! But yeah, more charges that you get up, more damage that you do. What the heck, dude? Monsters rest in peace. And then we need a finishing move to actually do this. Dragon Talon. Can we put that on left click? Yeah. You get a nice finishing move. So we have increased percentage damage, and then we have a finishing move after the charge up. Alright, then we have Fists of Fire. Okay, so we have like this, and we use fire damage. I believe it's just fire damage. It looks like a fire damage corpse explosion thing. Maybe not corpse explosion, but increases yards. Yeah. Okay, so it's like a burn. Alright, alright. Claws of Thunder. Blades of Ice. Yeah, there you go. So it's like a lightning one, and then we have probably a cold one, right? Blade of Ice. I've heard of this one before. This one's a POD favorite, right? I don't know, maybe it wasn't on right click. I saw it easier on left click. Yeah, there we go. Blade of Ice. So those are the three different elements there, and I believe Phoenix Strike. This is actually going way back. My dad was actually a huge fan of Phoenix Strike. It has synergies with Fist of Fire, Claws of Thunder, and Blades of Ice. So if you want to go for a specific element, you can start putting points into either all of them and try to go the three elements. But going triple element is tough with the way that Diablo 2 works. Hybrid is more likely, and if you want to go for a specific element, then it's going to be even better, like maybe lightning or something like that. But I know that, as you can see here, level 1 charge is meteor, 2 is chain lightning, and 3 is chaos bolt. So we have meteors. Oh, and the meteors are slow still! Not like this. Okay. Then we have lightning. And then we have the ice, which kind of looks cool. Ultimately, I feel like the meteors, if they were super fast meteors, like sorceress meteors, whew, that would actually be kind of sick. Cobra Strike. And this one leeches a bunch of life and mana. It's kind of cool. If martial arts had a rework, maybe I could consider playing it, but it's just not my thing. And then just the more charges that you get, the more mana and life that you receive when you do your finishing move. As you can see, the little animation for Life Leech. Dragon Talon. Let's take a look at this one. This one is another finishing move, as you can see in the top right, finishing move. This one has a synergy with Claw and Dagger Mastery. I think that's a new thing. Is that a... Why does that sound like a new thing to me? It's not a new thing, is it? Yeah. That's why it sounds new to me, because it's Claw and Dagger. It used to be Claw Mastery. Okay, that's why. Claw and Dagger Mastery. So that finishing move, what does it actually benefit? It gives you damage. So... Okay. So it gives you damage per level. That might be the same as vanilla, but I know that the Claw and Dagger Mastery threw me off because of the new wording. Dragon Tail's another finishing move, and this one gives you an explosive kick. Looks like fire damage, and what is that, like physical? Fire damage and attack rating. So we got like it looks like splash damage ultimately when I use Dragon Tail. Doesn't look like that crazy. Just extra fire damage, I guess. Yeah, there you go. There's the finishing move if you want to see it. Dragonflight's cool. This is a very good utility skill, and people will actually be using this on like some of these skills. Kappa. So there you go. It's like a teleport, and then you do like a finishing move on them. Yeah, there you go. It's like, if, was that 3 seconds? It feels like 3 seconds. But yeah, that's martial arts, man. One thing I'll mention real quick is Cobra Strike. This one has a synergy now with Venom. Right here, Cobra Strike, poison damage per level. There you go. And that's martial arts. Like I said, in the future, it's going to get a rework, and maybe when that rework happens, we'll actually be excited for martial arts. The shadow disciplines and the traps afterwards. Traps is like my favorite. I absolutely love playing Trap Assassin all the way through the game. And yeah, shadow disciplines are super cool with the different things and abilities you can do. Psychic Hammer, Mind Blast, Cloak of Shadows, and Shadow Warrior are all synergies to Psychic Hammer now. And Psychic Hammer is magic damage. Psychic Hammer, it does magic damage, and I believe that it goes up to like 3 or 2 nearby enemies when you start to max it out or something like that. So magic damage, and then you have like so if we use Psychic Hammer and then we use like Mind Blast at 1 soft point gives you a stun length of 2 seconds, so it's like a CC skill just like it used to be. And it also does a little bit of damage. Obviously, they're just dying in 1 shot there. And on left click, that's the Psychic Hammer. So you got magic damage and you got physical damage with Mind Blast. More points into the Mind Blast. The radius goes up and the stun goes away. See how the stun went away? But the radius goes up. And look at that radius now. So it now turns into like a damage ability that does physical damage. Cloak of Shadows also got a buff in disguise, so the duration of Cloak of Shadows now is actually only 5 seconds. But what that allows is you to cast Mind Blast more often. Because before it lasted like freaking, what was it, 16 seconds or something like that? And then like you'd be like multiple screens away from where you actually cast it, and then you wouldn't be getting any benefits at all from the Cloak of Shadows from before. If you're not familiar with what Cloak of Shadows actually does, it gives you, first of all, if the monsters don't see you, if you're like not near the monster, they won't even see you in the first place. Like, I can walk near this guy, the shaman is not attacking me with any ranged attacks, right? So, and then on top of that, it gives a defense bonus for you, and then it also gives minus enemy defense percent. So I was saying earlier with kind of like that Mind Blast build, Mind Blast Psychic Hammer, we have synergies with Cloak of Shadows, Shadow Warrior, and Psychic Hammer. So we have Shadow Warrior right here. Summon a shadow of yourself that mimics your skills and fights by your side. Let's take a look at that. I actually use this at times, so it might be interesting. It looks like they have splash damage too. Yeah, they have splash damage because of the melee weapons. Are you actually able to view their gear? Am I gonna crash the game if I do this? No, I don't know if it works like Valkyrie in the scenario. You can't see their gear, but... And every time you put a point in, it gives them extra life, it gives them the defense, and also more attack rating. Again, it like mimics your skills. Shadow Master, powerful shadow to fight by your side. It gives more resist, attack rating, and more life every time you put points in. I believe the difference with the Shadow Master between the Shadow Warrior, it does like its own skills. I think it does its own skills. Maybe I'm crazy, but it's been a long time since I've actually used this one. Yeah, it has its own skills. So now it's using Venom. And was that Blade Shield and Fade? Shadow Master is much stronger. AI is a bit better. Okay. Then we have Dagger and Claw Mastery. The Dagger part is pretty cool. That's an addition to Project Diablo 2. It gives you more damage. It gives you attack and percent chance of critical strike. Honestly, I honestly think that maybe like Poison Dagger could be a build with this. Like if you have an O skill poison dagger, and then you start using dagger and put points into dagger mastery, you might be able to do something like that with poison dagger in the future. We have burst of speed, and I think only hard points now increase the attack speed. Yeah, it says increases attack speed with base levels. Movement speed goes up with the soft points. But yeah, Psychic Hammer, I will say Psychic Hammer and Mind Blast looks like a really cool build. And then you have like a bunch of synergies that you can put that in. So there's a whole like 80-point build, if not more, that's involved in that, which is super cool. Weapon block. Weapon block. Wasn't it claw block before? Or am I crazy? Maybe it is weapon block. Maybe they changed that wording. Maybe I just imagined things. So yeah, then we have Fade, and Fade I thought was going to be touched. Maybe it hasn't been touched yet. Does it tell you? Yeah, it gives you the like secret passive, right? But yeah, it raises your resistances, it reduces the curse duration, and it also gives you damage reduction percentage. Fade is super good, but you can only have Fade or Burst of Speed. So, Venom, this adds poison to your weapon. Some people have definitely used this in the past. I think Grief had this, or has this. I don't know if that was removed or not. And it does like X amount of poison damage over, you know, X amount of time. And the duration for the buff lasts for a decent amount of time on there. Like we were saying earlier, it has a synergy with Cobra Strike now, so you can put points into Cobra Strike for additional poison damage per level. Now, my favorite part is the Assassin Traps. I've always loved these things. I haven't played too much with like Blade Shield, Blade Fury, and Blade Sentinel in the past. But generally speaking, I love this portion of the Assassin. This is like my favorite to speedrun, all that stuff. But yeah, Fire Blast, super cool skill. But now, when you put points in, now you get more Fire Blasts. And those shotgun as well. So now you get 3, and you can shoot 3. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like that changed a lot. I believe Shockweb has no next hit delay now. There's a cooldown. Yeah, it's Shockweb's still kind of the same thing. Yeah, for example, so Lightning Sentry and Chain Lightning don't share a synergy. So it's an either or situation if you want to go Lightning or if you want to go Chain Lightning. And I'll showcase those in a second. But the Charge Bolt situation, I believe there's more bolts now. And like you actually can do a lot more single target damage potentially than like Fire Traps. Fire Traps would definitely have a better AoE, like say you're in Act 3 Flared Jungle, you'll be killing a lot more dudes. But if you can throw out a bunch of traps with Charge Bolt, it's a really cool build now. Like, and it actually does damage. Lightning Sentry, kind of the same thing as it was before. But yeah, it shoots 5 traps, I believe. Oh, 10 traps. Okay, is that different? Shoots 10 traps. It must be different because I thought it was 5 before. That is sick. Shoots 10 traps or 10 shots in a straight line and pierces the target. And then we have Chain Lightning. There we go. But as you can see, it's just like Chain Lightning where it like bounces from each target. Look at how cool that actually is though. It's a really cool idea. That idea is super awesome. Kind of like Arc from PoE, right? To some extent. Wake of Fire, pretty much the same thing. Shoots 8 times. Up to 5 of these traps. And that's the good old Wake of Fire, dude. Then we have Inferno, or Wake of Inferno, which is like a lot more of a single target skill. Or like kiting mobs in a straight line behind you. It does a lot more single target damage in comparison to Wake of Fire. But like, you know, does not nearly have as much AoE. So if you wanted to go fire traps, you could also go fire traps. I believe the scaling in the end game has been adjusted, so it's I think it's viable in end game now. So if you want to go fire traps and farm like Maggot Lair, because it's now a level 85 area in Maggot Lair, that's something you could actually do. Let's talk about like the Blade Sentinel. Honestly, I think I've only used this like once or twice. Actual skill say it says weapon damage, so it's like flat damage plus weapon damage, and it has synergies. So it's like a physical damage build. Then we have Blade Fury, which you just like hold down and throw for a bunch of things. Holy crap, that's kind of sick. To just throw like ninja stars, man. Get wrecked by my ninja stars! Hell yeah, dude. I feel like Spider-Man in that pose. Spider chick, let's go. Okay, and then we have Blade Shield and Blade Shield. What the heck does Blade Shield even do, dude? Spinning blade slices enemies straight too close. It's like a damage reflection type of thing. Interesting. Interesting. And it's based off of your weapon damage? That's interesting. Okay. Alright. Again, like I said, I'm not too familiar with all these things, so I apologize for everybody. It's like, you're so dumb, BT. You don't understand how to play with martial arts, dude. You don't get how to use Blade Sentinel. I'm sorry, dude. I'm a meta slave. I bow down to the meta. I can't handle it. Oh, we didn't talk about Death Sentry. Just kidding. We didn't talk about Death Sentry. This is actually a cool change. I love Death Sentry. I love Death Sentry. This will be a really cool place to test it out. So Death Sentry didn't even look like it got nerfed. Dude, this is probably insane in cows if it works like the Corpse Explosion. I have to test this out. So Death Sentry before, as you can see, it's not doing anything when I throw it down. Death Sentry before used to attack and do Corpse Explosion. Now it only does Corpse Explosion, so it doesn't waste its charges. Absolutely love that. And not only that, they changed the Death Sentry to, I mean, they have, like, as you can see, the synergies, Fire Blast, Wake of Fire, and Charge Bolt Sentry. So it's got this interesting, you know, like, physical and Charge Bolt lightning damage build. But also, you can kind of go down the, like, the hybrid lightning and fire tree. And it does flat damage, so now, like, it'll scale a lot better when player count goes up. Because the way that Corpse Explosion was used in the past was it was based off of players 1 monster HP, so whenever more and more players entered the game, Corpse Explosion did less and less damage. Look at that. It's freaking 12-yard radius, dude. Holy crap, that is awesome! I'm gonna have to fool around with this stuff. Look at that. Dominoes. Domino effect. That's really cool. So yeah, that is actually everything that I'm pretty sure for the Assassin. I think we covered every skill. And we're gonna move on to the Necromancer now. I really like some of the changes with the Assassin, and hopefully the Assassin will see much love in Season 1.